Welcome to another video. Like I said on the previous video, these introductions are they're not very good. I need to stop doing them. So what about the last video I made? The last video I made was the Go-Go's Crazy Bones third generation books, and that's the longest video I've done in some time. This one will not take as long, hopefully. I mean, blimey, that was like an hour. According to the editor, that was like 70 minutes. Gah. So, well done everyone. Well done everyone. So, and it took like 2 hours to upload to YouTube, which is the longest the video has taken to upload. So, yeah, so far, whatever. Anyway, this video was supposed to be about Fungus Among Us, but there's been a change to the schedule, which means this is going to be about the weird stuff that Sky allow on their TV boxes for Sky Kids. Now I've got to provide a bit of context. Actually, scratch that. I've got to provide a load of context. You know how back in, I think it was 2015, YouTube decided to introduce YouTube Kids. In order to I think stop all the data collection from kids, which isn't legal anyway. Apparently, I don't follow that kind of stuff anyway. But anyway, basically, as soon as YouTube Kids came along in 2015, the idea of making mass-produced kids content for YouTube and making like kind of monetizing it on regular YouTube, because they do it on normal YouTube to get onto YouTube Kids, because if you give them a chance, they'll do it, which means they'll monetize regular content. So thanks to that, thanks to the ability to make money off the back of kids content that goes on for like an hour, it's become mass produced. Think of it as like 5-minute crafts, but for kids. Although that might not be a good enough analogy, considering the stuff that 5-minute craft has. I'm assuming that the age demographic is the same. Anyway, enough talk of analogy. Anyway, point is, of course, as soon as the media thought it was a viable business thing to make loads of kids content and mass produce it and make it like 2 hours long. Yes, I'm not joking. Look it up. So anyway, when this happened, it didn't. Like, I think it took like a good 3 or 4 years before the BBC realised, oh hello, we're gonna stick that stuff on our channels now. And that explains why they now show Cocomelon along with like 2 or 3 other YouTube stuffs on CBBS. Don't know if it's exclusive to the iPlayer, but even so, it's it's totally appalling. Like, don't we pay them? We flipping pay them. Hang on, I need another DDTV reference. Where comedians say silly things for easy laughs, and all because we pay them. Yeah. Thanks for that, Dick and Dom, or whoever wrote that flipping joke from all those flipping series of sketches. And again, those who haven't watched DDTV will be scratching their heads wondering what that joke was about. Probably like most of this audience, because you're probably from Spain. If you're watching, you're probably from Spain. At least according to my statistics. But don't forget, YouTube to do is really, really buggy and really, really bad. So don't be too surprised if that information is very, very wrong. Anyway, again, while I explain this next bit, here's Shrinking Gold 2. Hang on. To look at you, give you something to look at while I go through all this lot, because to be honest, we're going to be a bit of a long time, or at least I think we are. Anyway, as soon as the BBC got hold of this media, I think it didn't take long for other companies to pick the licensing up for Cocomelon. I think the other two TV channels I can think of at this time are Cartoonito, which is another, I think, channel connected in some way to Cartoon Network. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to look it up or not, because it's a kind of a weird thing to search. Oh look, I need to know what TV channels this TV channel is connected to exactly. We could be here for another 2 hours in editing. So and also the other channel I think was Tiny Pop, which again is, I've just cut my skin. Oh, I've got to do a jump cut now. I'll get a plaster. Flesh ripping is the worst. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, that's it. the other channel to pick up the licensing for Cocomelon was, of course, Tiny Pop, which is connected to Pop, which is, I think, I'm not sure, this could be foolish lies, but I think Pop is a Sony-owned network. I mean, if that's true, there's a bunch of Cash Banuka jokes that can make at their expense. Not more, well, not at their expense, but more, you know, because it's a funny referencing thing I've got going on. Like, oh look, Cash Banuka owns a TV channel now. Cash Banuka's going to steal my location data. Wait, what? Anyway, so ever since that's happened, I think, and then an additional company to get a hold of all this stuff was, of course, it was Sky. You know, the TV provider, the Skybox people. You know, the Sky TV remote. It's not the actual thing in the Sky. I mean, the actual box Skybox. You know, not the stuff up there. That's water. Not all this lot. I'm talking about the technology that they supply you with. Hooray for that. Anyway, basically the idea of sticking YouTube content, and there's a lot of it, onto Sky as a whole, you know, the kids part of the downloadable programs page. If you have a Skybox, you'll see. So that's weird enough. But also, they also like to use shows no one wants anymore, like the old Pokemon, like Diamond and Pearl. That's not a joke. I think they show some Pokemon series on BBC, and they also, I think, show this one specific series. I think, by coincidence, I think that happens to be Diamond and Pearl on the iPlayer. So I don't watch Pokemon, because I'm more of like a Sentai rider person, you know, tokusatsu and stuff, hence Shinken Gold, who has just miraculously disappeared. He hasn't really. Anyway, so the chaotic mess of Sky Kids basically just resulted in them launching like their own TV channel for Sky Kids, and I'll probably insert like a picture of it here. Basically, the internet plus TV equals absolute chaos, and I can prove this statement by saying that if you go through your downloaded programs on downloadable programs on Sky, you'll see that not only Cocomelon is there, but a lot. I think along with some of the stuff that's shown on CBeebies, which is already a bad enough start, but I also think they have some other stuff as well. The prototype version of this video would have actually gone through like a detailed review of each show YouTube got in. I know the quality can't be that good because there's this one show on Sky that literally just has YouTubers just on TV and that's it, you know, filming their own bits for TV and that's it. So you can, I'm gonna just go my way and call that really incredibly lazy, because that's like taking a video from YouTube like this one, downloading it, sticking it on a USB stick, sticking it into your TV and saying, oh hey look, it's on TV. It's like doing that. So again, like I said, the original version of this video would be to go through each program and review it in like some kind of whale form or comedy sketch. But I thought that, but I discovered that tragically this would have ended with me having to watch all the cringe. No offense if you actually enjoy this, but point is, I don't. It's my channel, my opinion, my review. Point is, I would have had to watch it, and then that would have, you know, defeated the whole purpose, until I realised, literally seconds before hitting the record button for this video, I realised that wouldn't it be funnier just to do what you originally did, because I know I did this before, I just can't remember where. It might have been for my USB stick, it might have been for this. If it's for this, it'll be a first time. If it wasn't, hooray. I think it was for YouTube, because I don't ever recall seeing anything else for YouTube when running through for Funny's Best Ofs. Part 2 of that series is coming soon. Ooh. So basically, yeah, it would have ended with me having to watch the stuff on the TV, and I got as far as actually downloading it, but I thought, nah, it's not worth it, guys. So basically, right up to now, I thought, wouldn't it be funny just to give like comedically bad runs through the programs, you know, missing the point and details entirely, you know, like it's saying, oh, it's basically just doing a YouTube version of Power Rangers Super Mega Force, if you get my drift, of course. It's like doing that. So what I will do now is, I think I'm going to hit the stop button on this camera, just the big red circle up there, which you will know if you watched my camera boxing video, which is from last year. Link isn't here. If it doesn't annotation, I'll probably do it, because, well, annotations are fun, innit? Not the ones that appear up here, because they're really tiny and really yuck. I just want the ones where you can make them as big as you like, you know, from 2013. You know, like all the videos that were filmed during that time, like the Ashens videos. He would say, go watch that video there, and there'd be nothing like now. So it's like an annotation or something. So, great start, everyone. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do it like a jump cut to, like, I'm not going to do a microphone. I think I'm going to do a microphone voiceover depending on how quiet the room is. If there's no microphone voiceover, that means there's still has to be my background noise, and you'll still hear some people talking about. Right, I've got two TVs, right? They're both run off Sky, right? The first one's in use, probably. It always is at this time. The one in the back, however, actually isn't in use, and I'm able to use the same function on that to go to the downloads page and take the mix. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the room, probably wait a bit, because if I turn the computer on, that's probably going to do all the weird stuttering like this. I'm going to wait a bit, probably use my tablet or something, and then when it eventually rolls around, I'm going to turn the computer back on, test the microphone voiceover thing, because it may or may not work. And then during all this, I'm going to turn the TV on and go to the downloads page while editing this video. Because what I'm going to do is when I go to the downloads page, I'm going to write a list on Google Documents on the compute. So yes, I'm using Dankpod's language now. Hey, I'm going to write a list of stuff on the compute on Google Documents, and then I'm going to print the document to use as like a kind of a script for the microphone voiceover. And then I turn the TV off and do the microphone voiceover, and then in the end, if that actually doesn't if that happens if that happens not to work, what I'm going to do then is plan B, because I have a lot of these extra plans I use, you know, often. I'm going to do plan B instead, and that is to do the whole script stuff, but actually no, not the script. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit on a chair, go through the programs on the TV with like one hat with like the remote, and then when I find something that looks vaguely awkward, I'm going to type it into Google document and then print, and then now I'm going to type it in the text box on the editor. So that's the slightly less desirable plan, but I think they're both pretty solid, because one uses the microphone, one doesn't, which basically means doesn't matter about the situation, I will win. Hooray! Right, so there's going to be a jump cut now, and I think there's a black screen. I think I'll put a black screen with the mic voiceover. There's going to be no visual unless I can find a funny enough image or something. I might just go on Twitch. You know what? That's actually a valid plan. What I'm going to do is, instead of just showing like a black screen, I think I'm going to do what I would do for a Wish video. Not even sure that series is going to continue, considering that it's pushing the boundaries of my capabilities, you know, having to take photos and editing them and all that. Basically, the easier plan for these videos would be the hardest one. Figure that out. Basically, what I'm going to do is, I'm just showing a black screen. I'm going to find weird items from Wish and then stick them on as like things for the visuals. It's just going to be a simple case of audio file here, photos here, done. All while I'm talking about the stuff going on with Sky. It's pretty weird, but again, I don't want to leave you with a flipping black screen. So yeah, part 1 is officially done. No, I've got to think of a better outro than that. You know what? Take this Disney Infinity Guide. It is as sick as an August catalogue. Okay, August catalogues are a bit sicker than this, but it's still very good. I might do a proper run. Actually, no, I was going to say I might do a proper run through of it, but seeing it as it is, where is it? Seeing as it is, of course, from Prima Games, I'm going to, of course, check if it is on archive.org, so that's going to be a task for later. while I'm editing this video, hopefully. Also, I guess also as a side note, because I think I did the red noses for a couple of videos ago. I am aware of Red Nose Day being this year, but there's no blind bags, no nothing. I mean, also as I forgot to insert a photo of the second to latest series, I'm going to put a photo of it now with like a bit of like a follow up. So photo of the red noses here. Notice how one of them is literally just a flamingo. That's not red, that's pink. Okay, this is the first plan I ended up going with. If it sounds weird, that's because the camera is on low minimum sensitivity without me having to shout. So I'm having to be really close to the mic. So anyway, I've got a list of shows here. I've just literally been through the Sky readings for the programs. It was like treading through a toxic mud. It was really it's not exactly the first thing of choice I do because, well, it's, not desirable to see what they show on kids' TV these days. I mean, compared to back in the 2010s. Because, I should know. I watch Grizzly Tales for Christmas Kids every so often, and come on, that's decent. Come on. Just to give you an idea, if they showed that on TV nowadays, and that's saying a lot actually, because they did do repeats for quite some time. If they showed that on TV nowadays, they'd probably get they'd be under heavy complaint fire. Basically, like if they showed Dick and Dom in the Bungalow on BBC these days, again they'd be locked under heavy complaint fire. Based on the fact that they used to have a lot of stuff in the show that wouldn't be allowed on TV these days. Maybe that's why Dick and Dom's Hoopla was cancelled. Actually, the media couldn't handle the stuff that was in that show, so I think they later cut future episodes down runtime, and then they later cut it from the whole lineup of shows full stop. So again, past programming compared to modern day programming is way worse than programming used to be, but then that's just because the whole internet is becoming stuff on TV, as some of these listings will prove. Right, of course, all I've done is just gone through the program listings on the TV here, where the computer is in the back room. Basically, all I have done is looked at the funny pictures, and just judged them face value. It's like the phrase, you can't judge a book by its cover, but in this case you can, because some of these shows are just bare bones simplistic, and am I using that term correctly? Basic. It's just stupidly obvious that certain ideas are just run out and they're just going with whatever. Right, no more dawdling. The first item on the Sky Kiddies, I think it should be pronounced Kiddies, because that's how my amazing fun is, was pronounced so Kiddies. First show is Batwheel's Secret Origin. Now, the title might sound new, but this is basically ripping off cars from Disney. And you'll know, because if you have seen that show, or at least seen the same picture I have seen, the art style, not art style, but the character design looks scarily like the characters in Cars, the series of films and stuff from Disney. And get ready for a lot of this plagiarism stuff, because it's really abundant on this list. Of course, next show is called Boo Snoo, and it features a red marble. My main question was that, did they hire a YouTuber to come up with that joke? Because it sounds like the stuff they do, on YouTube, just to get a quick laugh at the audience. But to be honest, if it just belonged to, I don't know, let's just say something like someone said it completely out. Let's just say if a character in a YouTube video, like a completely made-up character, I don't know, like Spons or Michael Factory, if they just said it out of completely left field, then that would be funny, because, well, it's just Boo Snoo, there's no context or anything. The which is running on a battery. I've got a thing set up here, which it's all connected to this tower. You press the button, it charges. Anyway, it's connected now. So anyway, Boost New just sounds like something like a made-up character from like a sketch show would just say out of left field, just to like a quick joke. Anyway, Boost New is the new of a show with a red marble in it. Apparently, Boost New is the name of the red marble, because that's not sounding weird at all. The comment here is, what the hell kind of a name is that anyway? But I think I've just summed that comment up with like another like 10-word sentence just 10 seconds ago, so well done me for writing a script that's too short. Of course, next show is called Marvellous Makes, which is a term I think they may have stolen from the BBC. It says here, probably coincidence, but the main orange glove bloke has a very close look to that CBBC show, CBBC show's main... Doodle Doo. This Doodle Doo used to be a show on CBBS back in the 2000s. But I don't know whether you've seen it or not, if you want to know what... Because they both have these orange glove type things in. Again, I mean, the Sky version kind of just... It looks oddly familiar. It looks like it's a rip-off. It's just probably coincidence, but considering that Doodle Doo is from the 2000s, no, that's too much of a coincidence to say it's just a coincidence. I think yeah. And of course, the next one on this list is called Let's Game. This is the YouTuber themed one, which is a... I'm saying that, I can't believe I'm saying that behind me. Anyway, Let's Game, this is the YouTuber scene one. This is the one I talked about upstairs in the previous bit of the video. I know that sounds fairly wrong. Anyway, next up is... Get ready for this. Ultimate Video Skills. Yes, that is the show name. Yes, I am being serious here. We live in a world where video tips are being blasted from our TVs. I'll bet they didn't even think it through. Well... I think what I'm trying to say on this list here is that normally if you have a kids thing with video making stuff in it, it's probably just gonna be the exact same tips, just repeated like twice fold or whatever. It's probably not gonna be anything different. You're probably gonna get the same advice screamed at you. It's like having it's like trying to get advice from I don't know, consultant or something, not consultant, but I mean like a doctor or something, but the same doctor is just... Let's just say that you have a hospital, right? You go to one of the doctors to try and get, I don't know, advice or something, and they're completely useless, right? But every other doctor in the same hospital is the exact same doctor you just saw. It's like that. It's a very weird analogy, but it's the only thing I can think of, so get used to it. So yes, and of course, the last item on this list is a very weird one. Apparently, from the makers of Bugsnax, I think it was Bugsnax, I don't really follow PlayStation stuff very well. From the makers of Bugsnax, before they made Bugsnax, they made a game called Octodad. And I'm not even sure, I think this was a game, I'm not going insane, am I? I think it is. Hang on, let's just do a check. PlayStation... Am I going insane? No, it's definitely a real thing. It's definitely a PlayStation game. So keep this in mind when I tell you that there's a Sky show. Also called Octodad. One question, PlayStation. The hell is this doing here? Wambusway, yes, because the only reason I included this particular game is so I could do a Bugsnax joke.